Somebody gonna call me and tell me how my collar is. I know. Hey man, listen. Do not allow yourself to be set up. Don't set yourself up to be hurt by putting faith and trust in men. I don't care how good he can preach. I don't care how anointed you think he or she is. I don't care if they speak in tongues, lay hands on the sick. I don't care what they do. Please remember, he or she is a man. And men mess up. And if you're trying to figure out who I'm talking about me. I'm talking about me. And I want people to understand that, because all across this nation, I see people who have been hurt. And if you want to know what scattering the flock really is, sometimes scattering the flock is letting people worship you, letting people worship the ground you walk on. And sometimes we know they worship us and we don't correct it. We got to correct that, because there is no perfect man. There is no perfect woman. I remember when I was a kid, and I'll never tell you who I'm talking about. I was a kid, maybe 12 years old. There was this man that I looked up to, and I respected this man. I mean, this was my hero. And it's going to sound crazy, but he's still my hero. He's in heaven now, but he's still my hero. But I saw him mess up. I saw him do something that if I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, the Pope could have told me it happened and I wouldn't have believed him. If I had not seen this with my own two eyes, I would never have believed that a man this good could do something so foul and so filthy. And it rocked me to my core. I was a kid. I dreamed about it for 2 or 3 weeks. Every time I closed my eyes, I would see him doing what I saw him doing. In retrospect, as I look back, God was teaching me then not to put faith in men. I don't care how close you think you are to them. I don't care if you think you can trust them with your life. There are people who will let you commit suicide if they get mad enough with you. There are people who, if you don't do what they think you should do, how they think you should do it, they would rather you be dead than to help you. They would rather you be in prison than to help you. And it just amazes me how one day you can have favor and look at what God is doing in his life, and that boy got favor, and I know he got favor. And then as soon as you mess up, suddenly you're persona non grata. You ain't no doggone good. And we have to stop that. We got to stop giving up on people, and we got to stop worshiping people. And I want every church person, every believer in Christ Jesus, never worship a preacher. I don't care if his name is Sherman D.Manning. I don't care if his name is Bishop blah, blah, blah in Dallas, Texas, or Bishop so-and-so in Atlanta, Georgia. I don't care who he is. Don't worship a man, because a man will let you down. It's what we do. It's what we do. We'll go so far with you, but no farther. And sometimes when there's a misunderstanding, it can just be a misunderstanding. Instead of us coming together and talking about it, reasoning together as brothers, we will get mad and talk about you like a dog behind your back. And suddenly the person that was my daughter last week, and my son yesterday, and my brother day before that, and my sister day before that, suddenly they ain't no doggone good, let me tell it. And then I'll get on the phone and start calling people and talking bad about them. Church, gossiping is a sin. And if you find your brother in fault, if you find him messing up, your duty is to pray for him and to try to get him right, to try to help him get back on the right road. Don't talk about him. Don't throw salt in wounds. Don't kick people when they're down. The world already going to do that. Can I close by saying this? When preachers mess up, secular media is already ready to pounce. They're going to call him a crook and he's a fraud and I knew he wasn't no good and look at what he's driving and look at what he's wearing and say it doesn't matter what you're driving. If you're driving a raggedy car, they'll say that proves that you're a crook because if you're really a man of God, God will get you a nice car. If you're driving a nice car, they'll say that proves that you're a crook because you're taking all the people's money and spending it on yourself. Whatever you do, the secular media is going to make preachers be no good, period. So that's the last thing the church ought to be doing. You know how many preachers I have dirt on? You know how many church folk, deacons, elders in the church I have dirt on that I know about their sin. And I'll take it to the grave. I will never speak of it to another man, not another preacher, not another teacher, not another leader, because I'm not going to get on Facebook. I'm not going to get on YouTube and talk about other preachers and other leaders. If I know something bad about him, I'm going to pray for him. If I know something bad about her, I'm going to pray for her. Because if I am sincere, and if God called me to preach, I'm supposed to love my brothers, not hate them. I'm seeing a lot of hatred around here, y'all. I'm seeing a lot of hatred. I mean, on a national level and even on a local level. I'm seeing preachers who hope that the bishop in Dallas, that the allegations are true. They ain't got no evidence now. They ain't never met him, ain't gonna meet him. You understand me? They've never met him, will never meet him, not even on his level. But they sitting here in LA and sitting there in Atlanta and sitting there in Miami, hoping that a sex tape will come out and have him on it. So they could have something to gossip about, have something to talk about, have something that, this is sick. This is sad. I pray that God will never let me get that cold. I don't care who you are. If you have offended me, I still love you. I'm going to pray for you. I might get mad with you for a minute, but it doesn't last. My anger doesn't last long. I'm a forgiving guy. I'm a loving guy. I'm a giver. It's what I do. It's what I've been doing my entire life. In spite of all my faults, in spite of all my shortcomings, in spite of all of that, I will never look down on a man unless I'm picking him up. And I just don't have the kind of spirit where I call other preachers to besmirch other preachers. I'm always trying to figure out a way to make a guy be all right. You know, well, even though he did that, he still, he can sing real good. Even though he did that, he still got an anointing. Even though he might have did that, he can still something. I'm trying to find something good about somebody. Because I know that at the end of the day, I'm just a nobody. That at the end of the day, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody who can save anybody. My brothers and sisters, whoever you are watching this video right now, if you think I'm throwing a hint, that's on you. If you get offended, that's on you. Let's stop gossiping. Let us stop hating. Let's love one another. Let's love one another. You want to know why so many people don't want nothing to do with the church? They saw that show, Preachers of LA. They saw how we bicker and argue and cuss each other out and get mad. And sometimes when you deal with preachers, it's like you might as well be dealing with gangs. You might as well be dealing with some killers and some haters. These people will watch you die and not skip a beat, not lose any sleep. And then when you look at all the games we play in church, it's a lot of games going on. God is not pleased. So I have asked God to wring my heart. I'm talking about Sherman now. That all the mess that's in me, get it out of me. All of my issues, get it out of me. Deal with me. Make me the man you want me to be. Make me the preacher you want me to be. I ain't got time to fake the funk. Y'all ain't got no heaven or hell that you can put me in. And only God can judge a man. Only God can judge a man. But you do know them by the fruit they bear. And if the fruit I'm bearing is anger, if the fruit I'm bearing is gossip, if the fruit I'm bearing is unforgiveness, is the fruit I'm bearing is conspiracy, if the fruit I'm bearing is to hope you fail, to hope you go to prison, to hope you go to jail, to hope you don't succeed, that is not of God. That is not of God. That is not of God. A charge to keep I have. A God to glorify, who gave his son, my soul to save and fitted for the sky, to serve this present age, my calling to fulfill, oh, may it all my powers engage. I want to do my master's will. To anybody that I have wronged, I'm talking about me now, I'm talking about me. If I have wronged you, I'm sorry. If I have messed up or offended you, I'm sorry. You can call me and talk to me and tell me what I did. And if I'm wrong, I'll do my best to try to make it right. I want peace. I want love. I know you're gonna have haters now. If you ain't got no haters, you're doing something wrong. If you're not talked about, the old folks said, you're not thought about. So I'm not trying to make people love me. That ain't what I'm looking for. I'm all right. You ain't got to love me. But I do want peace. And I know that sometimes you can do a person wrong and don't even know you did it. Sometimes you could offend somebody and not even know that you have offended them. I just want my peace. I want my spirit to be right. And if I call you and say I'm sorry and you say blank you and hang up the phone in my face, then that's on you. I've done my job. If I borrow your car and there's a little scratch on it and I didn't even know it got scratched and you can prove to me that I scratched it, I'm going to try to make it right. I'm going to try to make it right. Because if I tell you that I love you, I mean it. If I tell you that I respect you, I mean it. I don't just mean I love you till I'm mad at you. I don't throw people away like that. I don't throw people away. And I believe that the blessing and all that I'm going through right now is God is showing me that I ain't the only one who's been through what I've been through. I ain't the only one who's been to prison. I ain't the only one who went to prison for what I went to prison for. I'm not the only one. There's thousands. You understand me? 10,000 get out every day somewhere in this country. And many of them have been thrown away by churches. They've been thrown away by preachers. They have been thrown away. And there's enough of them that if I can just win them, I'll be doing all right. I want to teach people to hold up your head. I don't care what you did, and I don't care what they say you did. Maybe you did do it. God can change you. Maybe you did do it. He can change your heart. He can change your desires. He can change your spirit. And if you didn't do it, he can help you prove that you didn't do it. I ain't trying to win no friends now, y'all. There's a book called How to Win Friends and Influence Others. I know there's somebody watching me right now. You hate me more now that you've seen this than you did before you started watching. It's all good. I promise you I don't hate you. I promise you I'm not jealous of you. I promise you I'm not wishing you go to prison. I promise you I'm not wishing that you fail. I'm not wishing that they shoot you, that they kill you, that they hang your name on the wing of the morning. I can't even think like that. I can't think like that. And one last promise I'll make you. I will not pick up my phone and call any other preacher, any other lawyer, any other church member, any other buddy, and say one bad word about you. Even when I know I got something on you, that'll stay between me and Jesus. I'm not trying to one up anybody. I don't play those games. There's a lot of stuff I do that I shouldn't do, but that ain't one of them. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you, preachers. Our job is to preach the gospel. And we're supposed to point people toward Jesus, not ourselves. Our messages, I listen to some of the stuff that notice what I keep saying, y'all. I didn't say y'all. I didn't say those preachers over there on the south side. I said we. I listen to a lot of the messages that we preach. And sometimes we preach too much about ourselves. How great I am. How great I am. I laid hands on Joe and he got healed. What I'm really trying to tell you is I got to put the me part in it. I'm really trying to tell you how wonderful I am. No. My job is not to tell you how wonderful I am. My job is to tell you how wonderful God is. There have been times when I've been messed up, when I sinned all night long, and then God preached through me like a crazy man. It was God, not me. It was God, not me. I got to stop pointing to me, trying to make it look like I'm so this, and oh, he's such an anointed man of God. Look at him. Look how he walks what he talk, all that old other stuff. Don't none of us walk what we talk. All of us talk north and walk west. And what I mean by that is all of us got sin. Sin that we do and sin that we think about doing. Come on, somebody. All of us got sin. Every last one of us. So our job every day is to try to get better, to try to do better, to try to be better. And stop hating your brothers. Stop wishing that the bishop in Texas is really guilty of that. I knew it was too good to be true because that's a form of haterism. That means that I'm really mad because he's better known than I am. I'm really mad because he got 30,000 members and I only got 3 members. I'm really mad because he got $150 million and I ain't got 1. I'm really jealous and intimidated by his success. And so since I'm intimidated by his success, a part of me wants to see him fall. That's a sick man. God bless you.